Continued coverage tonight on concerns surrounding a West Michigan long-term care facility.
The Michigan Attorney General reviews complaints against Skilled on the East Beltline, where we've detailed multiple claims of neglect. But one of the families with a patient at the facility is thanking the help team for recent progress getting a necessary wheelchair.
13 help teams. Charlie Tinker joining us now. Charlie, sounds like at least some improvement, but they do still have some concerns.
Yes, Kirk, Elena, they do. In the months we've been following this story, Tony Traxler's family was the first to come to us. We profiled them. He suffers from MS, and they claimed was being neglected after a fall that put staples in his head and meant a trip to the hospital. Take a listen to what they told me about another issue they say is an ongoing ordeal. What are your thoughts about the kind of life he's living?
I hate it. He needs social interaction.
A goal shared by the doctors who wrote the script for the specialized electric wheelchair required to allow Tony to be more mobile.
Almost 3 years ago.
His MS diagnosis, with its limited mobility, meant he would have to steer the chair using controls operated by his neck and his hand.
I foolishly thought it would take about a month to get.
Yet Mom Jan says several months into their wait,
I kept asking questions, why isn't it coming?
They'd find out what had caused the bottleneck about a year after the chair was supposed to have been on its way.
They were supposed to pay their share.
Jan says her frequent calls and voicemails trying to get them to cover what she believed to be their fair share.
And I believe it was around $3,000.
Jan says the facility told her they had no intention to cover the cost.
I felt that Tony needed this because I felt that anybody needed the independence from, being in a bed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Kim Gibson is a friend of the family. Out of obvious options and without the money to pay for it herself, she stepped in to see if they could raise enough cash to get the process moving again.
And so it became my passion.
The passion and the effort would soon pay off, successfully raising what they needed. Yet a full 2 years into the wait to give Tony his mobility back, life again had other plans.
He needed to be refitted for the chair. He'd need to be completely retrained.
He had been declining. The family says because his caregivers at Skilled rarely bothered to get Tony out of his bed. The specialized wheelchair would now need to be even more custom, and the $4,000 in extra parts was more than they had.
So again, back to square one. Tony's without his chair.
Kim finally charged the balance to a personal credit card.
Was called actually by Skilled and asked, actually told that they were going to pay for the chair, and we kind of laughed about it.
The offer seemed promising, though, Kim says, after months of denials, promising to reimburse her and look into the family's concerns. But after submitting the receipt, she says administrators went right back to giving her the cold shoulder.
I finally got a response in a phone call. We are not going to reimburse you for that chair, and I don't know who told you that.
We were told that they only are there to meet his daily needs.
Correct.
So independence has nothing to do with it, so.
Yeah.
They don't feel as though...
No, they don't want him to be independent, is what it sounds like.
All right, so Charlie, the wheelchair's been ordered, but any progress on the payment?
Kirk, we actually shot that interview yesterday around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and within 3 hours, I'll tell you, I got a text from Kim that the administrator over at Skilled had contacted her and said they would be getting them their money back after all. Now, 2 days before that, I had emailed an executive at this place's parent company, Illuminate HC, and last week passed the details along to the Attorney General's office as well. So this is timely. Certainly several folks aware of this. We made you aware of that review by the Attorney General, prompted by our reporting last month. Just this week, they are telling me that's in progress with an update possibly in the next several months. But I will tell you, I do know of at least several residents who have been in contact with special investigators since at least some progress is being made.